All right, so one of the things about this fragrance game that we're all part of is it costs money, right? So I want to give you some of the places that I use to shop, to sample, and that I've been using to build my collection and purchase stuff and save some money. So stick around. I want to talk to you about that. All right, so what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and this is SmellGoodz. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit, and hopefully you're enjoying the day. Hopefully you're having an amazing day, and life is going really good on your side of wherever the world you might be. All right, so kind of what started this or prompted this was at work. One of my coworkers recently pinged me on Teams and was like, "Hey, on a side note, nothing about work, I hear you're into fragrances." Yeah. So we started talking about it, seeing where he was with it as far as he's just kind of getting started. He has maybe a fragrance or two. He knows some of the bigger ones as far as he loves like BR 540. And that's kind of where we were. And then, something happened where I was like, "Hey, where do you shop?" Because I was like, something he said, in fact, what it was, he mentioned that he had gone to the Mont Blanc store and gotten him a bottle of Mont Blanc cologne. And I was like, "Oh yeah, so you went to this source. Cool." So that got me thinking, for him, hey, you may not know all of the places that you can shop and save money. And I was like, you know what? Let's put this out, because not everyone knows exactly where are some good places to get deals, to get fragrances without having to spend an arm and a leg and get yourself a discount, right? Now, we know that there are some brands who will remain nameless, Blue Day, and the ones that do Imagination and Pacific Chill, and those ones, chances are you're probably not going to find those on some of the websites that I'm going to mention. All right. But a lot of the other ones that I'm going to mention as far as different places, you'll be able to at least get them, check them out, save some money. All right. So first, let's talk about as far as sampling, right? For me, the place that I do most of my sampling from is a place called DecantX. And yes, they are one of the contributors, or one of the collaborators, if you will, for this channel. There is a discount code in the description for you to check them out. When I was early on in my cologne phase, right? Early on in my fragrance journey, they were the place that I would go to, and they had pretty good deals and pretty good selection of fragrances that I was interested in and wanted to smell. So DecantX is one of the places that I would get samples. They have them in 1 ml all the way up to, I think they even do some 30 ml. I know they do 10 ml. So they have pretty much a lot of your designer as well as your more popular niche that you might be interested in. So that's one place to check out. Another place is Scent Split. They're another place that does great as far as having different things. So for example, this is one of mine that I have from Scent Split. This is the Burlington one. And they do decants, great prices, great as far as great selection. They do a lot more of the niche fragrances than, let's say, DecantX. So between the two of them, you should be covered on being able to smell or put your nose on pretty much everything that's out there, or a good percentage of stuff that's out there. I don't think anyone could catalog everything, but they definitely, for the things that I cover on my channel between DecantX and Scent Split, you could definitely check them out there. All right. So those are places as far as samples. Now, you might also find some other places, but those are the two that I use that I can vouch for and say, you're going to get some good stuff there. All right. And then as far as other places, I'm in a few different Facebook groups. Now, the thing with Facebook, and me personally, I don't do shopping on Amazon, just because with Amazon, one of the things is, anybody can essentially sell on Amazon. And sometimes I've heard horror stories of people that have got thinking they were buying something authentic and did not, because it wasn't. It was a clone of a clone, which is crazy, right? Or it was an off-brand, not even off-brand, but it was a fake, right? Let's just put it that way. So I don't necessarily do Amazon. I don't do Mercari. I have not done eBay. My recommendation on eBay is, if you're going to purchase on eBay, definitely pay attention to the ratings, pay attention to the comments, things of that nature. If they've got 1 or 2 sales, probably wouldn't do that. So I've not done eBay. I don't do Amazon. I don't do Mercari, but I have done Facebook. And so I'm a part of a few different Facebook groups dedicated to fragrance. And one of the good things about Facebook groups is, but also one of the things that can be challenging, is there is an opportunity, just like with, as I was mentioning with Amazon, there's an opportunity potentially to get scammed. However, I look and see who has a record of doing good transactions before. So if you've done good transactions before, I'm a little more apt to trust you. However, I always say trust and verify, but also let's just be honest, I've not used it for huge purchases of $200 and $300 bottle fragrances. I may get to that point at some point, but at present, I've done a lot of my clone houses, a lot of my Latafas and French Avenue and what have you. I've done those through Facebook as a place to source. So my only caution with Facebook, again, if you're joining the group, follow the rules of the groups, but also make sure that you do your due diligence, right? You've got to make sure, because you don't want to send money to someplace and then not get anything back, or get a can of Crisco oil. I've seen some of that happen. All right. But now, as far as, let's talk some of the discounters, right? I don't really shop on retail unless there's a really, really, really good deal. But for the most part, I go to retail stores to smell, to put my nose on things. But as far as my purchases, most of my purchases would come through the discount sites. So I'll give you kind of mine. In fact, I appreciate y'all so much as far as what you all have done as far as just supporting the channel and watching it. I'm going to let you all in on the one that I don't want to, just because they have great deals a lot of times, right? They're one of my first places that I check to see if they have something in. Their selection is not as expansive as some of these other sites, but when it comes to prices, especially on things that I may be looking for, this is the place. We're talking about Aura Fragrance. They have amazing prices on a variety of things. Now, they don't have, as I mentioned, they don't have necessarily the selection. The stock is, if it's there and you want it, I suggest don't delay, especially if it's something that is a great price for a great product. I don't suggest waiting, because you might put it in your basket, in your cart, go do something and come back, maybe a day later and it's gone, it's sold out again. So Aura Fragrance is a place that I definitely say, for your discount sites, may be one of the first places to check. All right. Another one that many of you have probably heard about or may know about, and it gets some love, but it also gets some grief. We're talking about Joma Shop, right? Joma Shop is another place that, especially early on in my fragrance journey, was a place that I would purchase from. Joma Shop is great as far as a variety of selection. Prices are pretty good as well. The one thing that, and I think really it's just a misunderstanding sometimes of what Joma Shop means when they say certain things as it relates to their shipping, right? If it's available and it tells you, can ship next day or whatever it might be, that means it's in stock. They have a good selection of it. If it says something like ships in 1 to 2 weeks or ships in 3 to 4 weeks, it means that they probably ordered it from their distributor, but they don't have it in hand just yet. So they're kind of pre-selling it. So if it's something that you are really needing, especially if it's like a gift or something like that, and it says 1 to 2 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks, look elsewhere. But if it says it's available, then chances are I've not run into problems when I operate with that mindset. I look for things if I'm in a mood to purchase and I want to buy something. If it says 1 to 2 weeks, I'll see if I can find it someplace else. If it says 3 to 4 weeks, I'll see if I can find it someplace else. But if it's available right then and there, I've ordered it, not gotten any problem, and they have pretty good pricing. So Joma Shop is another place that you can check out. The third place, as far as my discounters, as far as my top 3, as far as discounters, just where I am right now, as far as what I'm purchasing, FragranceBuy.ca is my third one. They have a great selection. They have probably one of the best selections of of even your clones. Other than I'll mention there's another one, but they have a pretty good selection of clones as far as Lattafas and Fragrance World, French Avenues, all with Tanya, all of those. They have a pretty good selection of those, and prices are pretty good. Now, just be mindful, of course, that it may take just a little bit longer just because it is coming from Canada. Typically, it takes a day or two for them to get the order together, and then it may sit at customs for a day or two or what have you. So that adds some time. It does. I think most of the time I've gotten it, it's shipped pretty within a reasonable amount of time. I've gotten it within maybe a week to a week and a half, where I live in Phoenix. So, but prices are pretty good. Someplace you might want to check out as far as other things, as far as another place to purchase from. My fourth place that I have purchased from and enjoy, and they have a really good selection is, and this is especially for the Middle Eastern brands and Middle Eastern fragrances, this is TripleTraders.com. TripleTraders.com is another place that I've purchased from. I think I've got a discount code for them as well, or at least a referral link for them in the description there as well. But if you're looking for a wide variety of Middle Eastern brands, TripleTraders.com, and I'll also mention in the same breath, oudstore.com are two places that I've ordered from that specialize really in the Middle Eastern brands, and are great places that you can get really good prices on those fragrances. And then a couple other ones just to mention, as far as other places to purchase. eDiscount Perfumes is another one to do. A lot of times you can find things there that are maybe the box is damaged, so you get a discount because of that, or it doesn't have a box, it's just a tester, but it's a tester with a cap. That's another thing that you might check into. But eDiscount Perfumes is another one. And then just to round out, VinbaFragrance.com, Max Aroma, Beauty House, Fragrance Lord, Olfactory LLC, Forever Luxe. I think those are all the ones that I've got on my list here of places that I've purchased or that I'm aware of, and I check as far as pricing and things of that nature. I'll put them all, of course, in the description just so you can have links to them. But that's pretty much it. And then, of course, you might just have like OfferUp and things of that nature. Again, use caution if it's not a full-on, place to purchase. If it's just somebody who's selling out of a van at the local Quick Trip or Buc-ee's or Circle K, use caution. All right. But that's it. Those are the places that hopefully may help you. Hopefully I've put a couple other places on your radar. I'm not, this is just basically me trying to give, some information to the community to help you in your fragrance journey, as you may want to purchase some things, but maybe didn't know where you could purchase from and save yourself some money. Again, I go to retail. I go to Nordstrom. I go to Neiman Marcus. I go to Saks. I go to Macy's, Dealers, all those places. I go there to smell. I go there to put nose on and kind of identify what I like, what I don't like. But as far as purchasing, unless they have a really, really, really good deal, I'm doing it online. I'm doing it in one of the places that I mentioned and saving myself some money. All right. That's it for this one. Let me know if that was helpful to you. Again, have a great day. Again, stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notification, share, and then meet me in the comments and check out the videos that are right here for you to see other things that I've talked about. All right. Have a great one. We'll see you next time. Be blessed.